When we know ourselves, we are empowered. When we accept ourselves, we are invincible. And our next treasure coming up here to hand you some gifts is someone you know really well, and someone who, from what I can see, is unapologetically himself. Give it up for the wonderful Alex Orphanides, everybody.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's great to have you all here. I'm Alex Orphanides. Many of you may know me from sports events, and some of you through tough workouts. For those of you who don't, I'm a fitness expert and entrepreneur in corporate wellness. I'm also a proud father, husband, and a certified life coach. And today, I'm here to share my journey, a story of accepting loss, overcoming adversity, and discovering resiliency. It's about finding gems in life's toughest moments. At 14, while living in London, my mum was dying of cancer. Before her passing, she made a tough decision to send me to live with my dad, a man I had no relationship with since he was absent from birth. This separation, coupled with leaving behind my 8-year-old brother, who was also sent to live with other members of the family. Everything was changing so fast. I remember boarding the flight, making my way to my dad's, feeling like my heart was being torn apart. I couldn't bear the fact that I wasn't going to see my mum again. When I arrived, my dad threw me into the world of labor. In his mind, he was teaching me how to become a man. Within a few weeks, the same night Greece won the Euros, I received a phone call from my sister confirming my mum's death. My first reaction forced me to run as fast as I could. I ran until I could not run anymore. I fell on my knees and I knew that I lost the only one who had my back. I took a deep breath in, and right there, I realized I had to have my own back. I clenched my fist, I wiped my tears, and I stood back up. Not long after, my situation with my dad only got worse. He stopped all communication with me and my younger brother. He forced me to work. He didn't give me an opportunity to go to school. He beat me up. I felt I was enslaved by him. In the mornings, I was working as a plumber's helper, and in the evenings, I was in his coffee shop, washing the dishes. It wasn't until the guy I was working with noticed my bruises and offered me a way out. This gave me some hope, and the next day, I was sent back to the UK with temporary accommodation. I was a teenager with a hopeless future. I lost my closest friend. I missed almost all of secondary school. I even ended up sleeping on the streets. I was homeless. But my mother's passing awakened the warrior within. I discovered my flame of courage to accept reality as it was. And with this flame, I was able to keep moving forward, no matter the pain from the loss. The flame became my driving force, the inner strength that kept me going. Building my life around this became the only thing propelling me forward. Strengthening my capabilities and skills became the only way to fuel this flame. I remember one of my darkest moments when I was saying goodnight to my friends, seeing them going home to a family and food while I was making my way to a park bench as my bed. I was not even 18 yet, but that night, something powerful happened. I realized that one day I would look back at this moment, and the man I am today will reflect on the man I will be in the future. I didn't feel bad for my situation. Instead, I saw it as an opportunity to meet life. This realization was powerful, and I wanted to understand its power. So I decided to test my limits. Years of pushing myself in various sports, from bodybuilding to CrossFit, gymnastics and calisthenics. I was peaking in each one. And along the way, I picked up some valuable lessons, understanding the correlation and power of persistence and resistance. Things we must fight for, and things we must not give into. Momentum was built, and I was only getting started. So I decided to dive into the world of fighting. Throwing myself into a real fight to test this flame was important for my progression. I needed to prove to myself that this flame was real. I dedicated all my energy into mixed martial arts, training 3 times a day, working and reading in between. I was on a mission of self-discovery. I knew that facing an opponent who wants to hurt me would expose me to fear, and I needed to understand his power over me. I remember just before the fight, I was feeling anxious. I was scared. My thoughts almost forcing me to escape. But despite the noise in my head, I focused on one thought: just turn up. And before I knew it, I was in the ring, and I was tested with everything I had. And the fight ended in a rush of emotions. Winning and losing wasn't important for me, but how I handled myself in such situation and turning up regardless of the fear was my goal. I know now that it's not the removal of fear, but the acceptance of his presence. And for those of you that want to know, I won that fight. In the years that followed, reading became a part of my workouts. I discovered my love for truth and wisdom. Many authors became my mentors, since traditional schooling was never an option for me. I worked myself into many certifications and qualifications. And one thing I know, no matter how many degrees one has, this does not determine your outcome. Character and leadership are born from moments like these. And success is having the ability to apply what you learn and to deal with the circumstances life brings. This journey has brought me to connect with Plato's 2-horse analogy, with the charioteer holding and controlling these 2 horses. The white horse representing rational, moral impulses, and the wild dark horse symbolizes irrational passions and appetites. Holding these 2 urges can be challenging. However, it's down to us to build the skills to prepare us for the difficulties we will face along the way. We must organize our capacity to deal with the chaos within, because the chaos outside of us is not in our control. My struggles have only brought the best of me. Even though life at times seems scary and frightening, it's in these moments we grow the most. Self-development does not come without feeling scared and uncertain. Marcus Aurelius once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Our thoughts, our desires, aversions, judgments, choices, and actions are in our control. External events, social norms, geopolitics, the weather, other people's words and actions are not in our control. Realize this as an actuality, a fact we must remind ourselves, or else we are drawn into the illusion that eventually ends us in pain. Using our time to gather and understand how to operate most efficiently gives us a way to move and adapt. Life is a dance, and we must learn to coordinate with it. At times, we must be bold in our decisions. Take a chance, and when you do, you will experience pressure and fear. But do not confuse yourself with the removal of fear. Instead, embrace its energy and use it to help you towards your goals. Cus D'Amato, Mike Tyson's trainer, once said, "The hero and the coward, they both feel the same thing. But the hero, he embraces the fear. He channels it, he accepts it, and he sets out what he's supposed to do. While the coward, he feels the fear. He runs away from the fear. He's blaming others, and ultimately, he does nothing." Today, my goal was to remind us of the greatness we have in humanity, the insights, the gems, the lessons that come from difficult moments of life. This is a collective, intellectual evolution, and it's down to us to pass this on. When we move in this way, we keep the flame alive. Thank you.
Wonderful. Very moving speech. Feel the fear and do it anyway. Thank you, Alex, for reminding us that it's in times when we're challenged that the growth comes. Thank you so much. Valuable lesson for us all.